what's up? What's up, everybody? So, I want to start off this video by saying thank you all for supporting me. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been around much lately, but, fuck it, We're gonna be reading this philosophy book called The Four Questions. I've actually been going a little bit in the chapters of this, recently, so I'm gonna be starting off, on page 10 or something like that. This is the first philosophy book I've read. I actually picked up two. There was this, I was recently in San Diego, and I was in Balboa Park skateboarding, and I saw this guy at a stand, and it was about philosophy, and so I said, what's up? And he was like, oh, I've seen you before, which I've never seen him before. I don't know why he said that, but anyway, he showed me these books, and we went to talking, and it was really interesting, and he said, I was like, how much are the books? He said, it's only a small donation, and so I donated $5. I joked around and said, I'll donate a penny, and he was like, okay, whatever, but then I donated $5, so I'm rich, and he said, take these 2 books, nice seeing you, hope to see you again. I actually have events and stuff, but that's besides the point. Let's go ahead and start reading the book. Right here it says, The Four Questions. The 4 questions can transform your life and awaken your highest potential. Asking them of yourself regularly and whenever you need them will elevate your perspective and awaken your spiritual vision. This is what the Bhagavad Gita refers to as vision of eternity. When we are aligned with our purpose, we act with integrity and vigor. Both our mental and physical health improve, and we become more effective. When we know our purpose, we proceed with confidence. Question 1. What is my purpose? It is possible to go a whole day without considering the purpose behind what you are doing. Absolutely. It is possible to for weeks, months, years, or even a lifetime without inquiring about one's purpose. Sadly, yes. The fact is that most people don't inquire at all. The Yoga Wisdom texts say that humans not only can, but must ask this question in order to be happy. This is why the Vedanatas Durutas prompt us humans to use our special mental capacities to inquire about our ultimate purpose. People often assume that they know the purpose for which they work, travel, and hold on to things, but often they don't. Just because one is absorbed in work, adherent to a ritual, or attached to something, doesn't mean that these endeavors are well thought out and reasonable. In this book, How to Win an Argument, New York University professor of rhetoric Michael Gilbert points out that the most common mistake that people make when they argue is to forget the purpose of which they are arguing. Once suddenly you no longer know what you are arguing about, he advises, check to see if the subject